here's my range of winter gear laid out for our final considerations. Now we're going to do a quick tour of each element, each aspect of gear I'm bringing, and a couple of words about each. Then we're going to consider each gear set individually. So first here, we've got 4.5 layers of upper body and lower body insulation. Okay, this is our basic layering setup. Second, we got the footwear row here. We've got our heavy-duty mountain boots with the proper socks for comfortable movement in very cold temperatures. Vitally important, we got our after hiking, a pre-ski setup with down boots and the proper insulation to keep us warm and nice. Then we've got our heads and hands stuff here. And you can see that we got the proper gloves for warmer conditions and for very cold conditions, and we got the proper layering for our head to keep us warm when things go real cold. We got our little tent here set up with our wintertime stakes and a good set of cord to lash it down in really bad conditions. Then we got the snowshoes, our travel gear, which accommodate the boots. But we got our snowshoes and short ski poles that we use to navigate over this difficult terrain. And then we got the kitchen here, simple, real rock solid old school MSR stove, basic implements. Now important, we changed out from our big water bottle, which we bring water to camp with during the summertime, to 2 small 32-ounce bottles that we can keep in our sleeping bag or in our coat when we're traveling during the day to keep it from freezing. Excuse me. Then we got our heavy winter shell. This is our outer layer, and our really good, nice, thick, high-quality down coat. So after that, we got our little gear kit where we keep the camera, the journal, and a whole bunch of little goodies in there that are required for comfortable snow travel. And that's the basic tour. Now we're going to go through each element individually. Okay, now we're going to do the fundamental base layer and our insulation layers. Now, during different seasons, we have different requirements for base layering. And during midwinter, we have to have a reasonable base layer that's going to cover the standard conditions we're going to get. And our insulation layering should bring us through the conditions that we are going to experience at night. Okay, so for my fundamental base layering, now, clear days, clear warm days in the Sierras are going to mean that I'm going to need minimum base layer. So what I use is a poly thermal base layer. This is, capylene, propylene, whatever. This is an REI special that I got years ago. It's very nice. Now this will be my layer that in conjunction with a flat non-weaved poly tank top is my fundamental layer. This layer will not come off for the whole trip. Now if I wore more than this, I would probably start overheating when I'm climbing and ascending through deep snow-covered mountainsides. And when it's a really nice hot day, now that is where second layer comes in. Now usually people don't do this, but I have a set of zip to short nylon pants, reinforced butt, and I will wear this as the second layer over the poly layer. Now this will get me up to South Lake Tahoe on public transportation or Craigslist, whichever one I'm going to take. Now when I hit the mountains, this layer can easily go underneath my medium thermal insulation layer. Now this is a medium to light heavy polypropylene dense weave. Okay, this will pack in under this, no problem, fits right in there. So then during hot days or when I'm in the reflector oven, then I can zip off the bottom of these pants, still have my thermals on, and my gaiters are covering my boots, and I am good to go in hot weather conditions carrying a heavy pack working really hard. I don't sweat. So you can see how I'm trying to integrate all these pieces together into a program that'll suit cold and hot daytime temperatures. Now, we get into camp at night, we got this on, this is going on instantly, right? And that might be good, depending on how cold it's going to get. If not, we've got the fleece bottoms, okay? And the same program also operates with the tops. Now, let's say it's snowing out. Let's say it's snowing out and 22 degrees. I'm wearing my lowers, I got my base layer, and I got my nylon pants, okay? Now, this is in top of my backpack. My long sleeve poly shirt's in top of the backpack. And then we go to how's this going to work with my shell? Well, I'm climbing up a very steep mountainside in heavy snow and 26 degrees, and it's cold, and I'm working like a dog. Oh man, I can't wear a whole lot of insulation because I need the shell because it's snowing. So I've got a heavy duty shell on. I'm likely wearing a tank top. I'm likely wearing the nylon pants and my polypropylene lowers underneath a full mountain shell. I am good to go. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if I stop, I've got maybe 35-40 seconds before I start getting cold. In a minute, either I start moving again or I have to take off my shell and put on an insulation layer. So if I'm taking a break, I'm going to have to stop, rip with the shell, I'm going to have to put on an insulation layer, put the shell back on, and I'm good for the break. See what I'm saying? So, not only do you have to have your layering set up to be able to handle the range of temperatures that you're going to go through during the day, you have to have it set up to be tuned with in motion and not in motion. Now, if it's extremely cold out, when you stop, you will start getting cold. Okay, so your layering and your perception of this has to be tuned to make these rapid transitions. Got me covered?
Hey guys, morning one. You know, I can tell you all about gear. I can get you the right gear. I can probably get you set up for your cold propensity and such, but man, getting used to this and making procedure. Using your gear correctly is totally vital. Now I come out here, I'm experienced at this, and it just whoops the tar out of me. It was probably 6 degrees last night, and you know, it was on. Okay, so I'm getting up now, and it's maybe 22 degrees now, and I'm feeling a lot better. You'll see, I'm going to feel a lot better in a couple of days. But now I have to make the transition. Now I'm cold. I'm cold in camp. I'm cold in sleeping bag. And now I got to make the transition to hiking clothes, which means I have to strip down. So I'm cold. I got to get colder, and then I got to work, and I'll bring up the heat, and everything will be copacetic if my procedures are correct. Now everything's a little clunky right now. You know, zippers, storing stuff, water bottles, not having your stuff freeze up, your tops on your water bottles, stuff like that. You know, these are things that you got to get right because you're under the pressure, you're under the gun, man. So you got to get your procedures right because you can have the best gear in the world, and if you do not use it correctly or you are not prepared to use it, it's going to be hurting. So we'll work more on this as we progress the next few days, and I get my procedures back in line, and I get cold inured again, get used to the cold. In the meantime, it's on. So Al from South Upper Truckee Trailhead out.